my friends. If this is your first time here, then welcome. This spread for this particular reading has been developed over years to really find a combination that really works. And also, just to let you know, this is not that your ex is coming back and just like I'm throwing this on you. No, this is for the people who actually are still having a connection, or maybe they're anticipating kind of like that something still is ongoing. They still want something to happen with their ex, such as like maybe hoping for a reunion. If you're not wanting your ex, then please, this is not a reading for you. Check my monthlies instead. So in a moment, I'm going to explain the cards, but at the same time, I'm going to provide a timestamp for those people who already know it. If you're the first time here, please go to the explanation. But before I start this, yay, there's like something that you waited for entire year, my 2019 annual Taroscopes. It's time to pre-order. So you can go www.cattarot.ca/annual, and that's going to get you to the form. The moment when I make the first one, this price of $19.99 for individual sign or $39.99 for all signs is going to move to $29.99 for one and $59.99 for all. So this is like your opportunity to really grab a good deal. If you remember the last year, then they were like about hour and a half to 2 hours long. It was covering all kind of like segments and career and love and family and so on and so forth. In the description of this video, you are going to be able to see the 2018. So just like scroll down below and check it. Okay, so the next is to kind of like jump into this explanation, and for my regulars, here is a timestamp, and just jump right straight to the reading. Okay guys, as you're going to see, I don't know if you can see the difference in colors. Look at how old is this deck, about 25 years old. And the same cards exist in this deck as well. So I am choosing these 7 cards because they're going to be able to give me that combination, that magic key, and the answer that you really want. So let's start. Like, first card that I have taken over here is the Magician. And the Magician is really going to tell me about what is going on for your relationship. If this is really a go, if your relationship can actually fly. It's also going to tell me if your relationship was ever a starter. So both positive and negative is going to give us some answers. The next one is going to be the Temperance reversed. And usually the Temperance upright talks about stars are aligning and everything is like kind of like working together. When it is reversed, it tells me what is really not gluing and what kind of like things you still really need to pay attention and even work on in a relationship. So it's kind of like a really important combination of the two. Then we are going to have the Queen of Wands and also Knight of Wands. With these two cards, they are going to be significators for you and your mate, right? So they are interchangeable. You have to kind of like decide which one are you, and you're going to know it as when I start reading which one applies. This is the energy in between the two of you, and it's going to tell me if there is any communication and what's going on. Is there any manipulation? Is there any approach? And so on and so forth. Kind of like really important as well. Then we have Karma card. Many people disregard, karma, who cares? Well, let me ask you this. If you're now looking back in the past and you think about your relationships, isn't this like, a point that you think, I should have skipped this one? You see, this is really what is telling you about it. Maybe you really go, I want it. But karma is telling you, maybe, sweetie, you shouldn't be going in that direction. So that category is very important, because if you're not in sync with karma, everything will be breaking and things will not be coming your way, right? And then lastly, we have Four of Wands, and Four of Wands is kind of like going to tell me where is like this whole relationship going on and what can you do. So let's start with the reading itself. Hello Hello Gemini, and welcome to your November's. Is yours coming back? I mean the end of October and November. So just remember guys, it's a general reading. You know what it means. The message might go right straight to you and be everything, and it might be nothing. So it's always good to kind of like get more and more of these puzzles together and check your ascendant and check your moon sign. In the description you can find a link how to discover that if you don't know it already. And if you're watching for somebody else, it's really also good in addition to those to check their Mars sign. So, and guys, this is still on a special for 50 bucks, so let's start. So Gemini, 9 of Wands, and this one really wants to speak, and the Star and Page of Pentacles. Maybe you're feeling a little bit at standstill. You may be feeling a little bit bruised. Maybe, and you're an air sign, and I can speak as an air sign to an air sign, you feel, I didn't heal yet, I was supposed to do that, right? You know, sometimes people say time heals everything. Guess what? That's not true. Not at all. And yes, we air signs, we know we can speed it up, and you're like getting really upset because certain things are not evolving at a speed that you would want to. However, Page of Pentacles over here is telling me that this could be a little bit because of you and what you are doing. So for example, I have sometimes people that I read for, coach, and they want to heal, they want to get through their own patterns, but they keep spying on their ex or their husband or their wife and checking what they're doing, and these kind of like messages keep pushing them out to their own equilibrium. So be very careful over here about what's going on, because I really think this exercise is in healing. This is an exercise in kind of like going to this really next stage over here. So Queen of Cups reversed and 7 of Wands. Look at this. They seem to be really angry. They might be angry with you. He's also holding this basically wand, the stick, right in front of his heart. He's protecting his heart over here. He's saying, you know what, you know, no, that's not what they want. Queen of Cups talks about clingy attitude. It could be very controlling attitude, but it could be children involved in the situation, and everybody is just like doing their own thing, right? One person wants to do it like let's go left, and one person wants to go right, and then instead of like picking one or, you know, saying okay, let's talk about it, it's just like a mess that is kind of like ensuing over here in the situation. So it is kind of like really hard to kind of like look into this and understand that like everybody has their needs, and you know, no matter how thin you make pancake, it has two sides, so it has these two opinions. Look at this. We have the Queen of Cups, we have King of Wands. Maybe you really felt that this is that controlling thing. Where is my unicorn? You know, this is like who people are when we start to date them, when we have all these hopes, right? When we kind of like really want to kind of like do stuff, and we sometimes wonder, oh my gosh, how did I not see like this person, what they're doing? And then, you know, one thing happens, you're going, scratching your head, maybe I misunderstood, maybe something was really wrong about that. And then you know, it's just like, you know, and then you're wondering and more like what the heck happened. You're trying to kind of like outdo yourself, and the truth is, you know, this is who they are, and this is who they presented to be. That's the other way around and from what we think, right? And like I can see here, it maybe a little bit of that was going both ways, and that's a really bad part that we have to fight as air signs. We're giving so many gifts. Yeah, I know many people don't like us, and that's because it's the highest energy. It's kind of hard to understand, right? And it will be like, well, I don't like to climb on the top of the mountain, I just like want to stay on the bottom. Well, fine, if that's what you want, enjoy your picnic, and I really want to see what is up there, kind of a thing. But the negative part that we got, it's yes, we have that enthusiasm, we can go very far, we are challenging ourselves, but we are going to engage, and that's also what spiritual kind of like signs do. And that means if somebody's bad toward us and they do something, right, it's going to be a really bad combo. It's kind of like that when you eat a wrong food and you get heartburn. Only thing that's going to be kind of like explosive, and kind of like looks like here it took two to tango. Like, I mean, almost looks like a female is still looking after the male over here about what is going on, in which direction. Maybe somebody's turning their back, his back, her back. But this also is my card of ships, and it's falling in a karma segment and saying, which ship do you want to ride? Friendship, relationship, partnership, or no ship whatsoever, right? It's kind of like a decision point. It's like time to kind of like look into that, and not only look on the outside, also look on the inside. And here you go. Especially, wow, 2 majors. This is really good. I'm just like really feeling that sunny energy, and it is really cloudy over here in Toronto. It's all of a sudden turning like really cold, and I just like saw these 2 cards. It's almost like having my hands toward the fire, right? The Empress is like that lovely energy where, you know, you're at comfort with who you are, male or female. If you're female, you feel being feminine as a natural kind of thing. You feel, hey, I'm a mother, I'm doing all of these things, I'm feeling authentic, I'm feeling in sync with myself, right? And if you're a man, then you're not like this strong man. Like, I mean, you're not like from the 19th or 18th century, even 20th century. You're actually coming to 2018 or maybe even 2050, and you're understanding, you know what, like, I mean, we all have these 2 parts. Remember this like yin and yang sign? Kind of like even the white part has a black dot and white part has a black dot, and the reason for that is like we all have a piece of the other inside, right? So the Fool over here, what needs to be fixed, it is trust. Trust have been broken over here, clearly. And it's kind of like hard because you're not starting from the beginning. You already know this, and you have already discussed this, and this is again kind of like air, like both of them have air in them. It's kind of like maybe you're thinking, what kind of like person I want to be. I need to be maybe more sensitive, or I am too sensitive and I have to pull myself kind of like to kind of like some space in the middle, right? Then you have here 6 of swords, but it is actually reversing. So this is really telling me that you're still probably regurgitating things that happen, and that's why this healing. You see, this would be Aquarius, this would be all air signs. Here we have Libra. As you can see how strongly this is coming through. But like, I mean, there are still emotional ties to somebody whom you actually enjoy dating, you enjoy spending time with someone, and you keep coming back, to issues that you had. Sometimes that's good. Analysis is really good to understand, well, this is what I did, and maybe this was kind of like where I turned left and I was supposed to turn right. Maybe you are going to attempt to be with this person, because I see here offering love and coming back. It could be somebody who is distant or who might live at kind of like in a different location. Well, of course, I mean, not in the same city, sort of like there is like a significant travel distance, even if it's just hours. And maybe feeling strong enough to kind of like approach this person, but I really don't think this person wants to do it. And actually this is also telling you that wouldn't be the wisest thing to do, because this person is not seeing potential. This person is sort of like pushing you away to some extent. And we have the Moon, and we have this 9 of Swords. Well, there are 2 9s, and this is like the 3rd 9. It's like something that needs to end. If you ever wondered about this person, it's basically telling you, hey guys, about this person is like full of secrets. This person is possibly gaslighting you. This person is kind of like barking to the moon. It's kind of like useless, really, if you wish. And you're getting upset over that. who is wrong in the situation, right? Like a mom would sit you down, like, I mean, what is wrong with you, right? And while we usually see that when we see it in the other people, it's kind of like hard for us to see when we are actually experiencing that and we are doing that. You need to ask yourself, is this what it is? Because that's kind of like coming through very kind of like significantly. So whoa, 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 and this is supposed to work for you. There is yet another 9, and that needs fixing. So you need to kind of like go deep. Like, I mean, you are kind of like all thinking out instead of like thinking in. Kind of like, is she coming back? Is he coming back? What's going to happen? Like, the answers are inside, not the outside. And this is the answer. This person has been deceptive. This person kind of like takes what they want. Right? You see, this the 7th, it's a spiritual lesson in all of that, where, you know, why do you want somebody who is treating you this way? That's a really good question. And sometimes people just do it because they feel that they have no other options. You know, it's kind of like when you look at this, for example, celebrities dating, and I many times thought about that. Because they're pretty, they're like, I mean, they're rich, pretty much not missing anything. And as you can see, majority of them either have very broken relationships or are basically not choosing a relationship. And I really think the more independent we are, the less we will choose relationship, because it is kind of like really hard to coordinate all the things. So you're an air sign, like you would be actually early adopter. It would be really easy for you to go in that direction. So something makes me wonder, what is about this person that you really kind of like want this, like kind of like go in this direction, where the person is really shady. And you know, I think it's Mae West that said, somebody corrected me, I think she's a Leo, not Aquarius. She did say that the best way to forget someone is to get under someone else. And yeah, I really, like, I mean, as a psychologist, that's kind of like iffy advice, of course, because you need to kind of like make sure you're not repeating a pattern, which kind of like I'm questioning a little bit over here. But let's see what else comes here. Ay, ay, ay. So you might actually approach them with something and they'll say, no, leave me alone. Or they might not even respond. Or they might make you jealous. And you might get very sad. And you might even feel like, good Lord, what am I thinking? Kind of a thing. And then they keep coming. Keep coming because something in their life is making them unhappy. Again, kind of like, you see this person, he has everything, but well, now I don't have you. And my question here is like, is this done for the right reasons? Because knights don't have tendency to stay. It's kind of like that enthusiasm that you get about kind of like approaching another person, dating, preparing for the dates. Knight of Wands is like lots of fun, but it kind of like comes for basically sex. It's kind of like very fiery, very intense, and just like you wake up alone kind of a thing, right? Page of Swords and Queen of Swords. I really think that you might be dealing with somebody also who is a stalker. I mean, this person can get very pesky if this person has no problems rejecting you, no problem ignoring you, no problem making you jealous, no problem saying about his or her plans. But when it comes to your plans, not important, right? Because look at you. Look at you. It just kind of like talks about, on Gemini front, things are like moving very slow, and it looks like it's not moving, kind of a thing. Page of Swords reversed is like really saying that when this person gets unhappy, kind of like, watch it. He is lying. He's going to say whatever he needs to, like my unicorn thingy, whatever he needs to just to try to get in. And I kind of like do see either children involved in the situation. Somebody has children, or somebody has or somebody's really wet behind their ears, which would be worse. So if you have children, you really need to watch what you're doing, and I really think you're coming back into your own. With Queen of Swords, she kind of like gets it. She does get it. And she's like, okay, that's it. You know what? you're going to do this, or I'm going to do this. And that's kind of like, we cannot order other person what they do, but we can change our own attitudes and how we deal with things, and that's what ultimately matters, right? So Gemini, this is the end of this reading for October, November. Make sure you check your ascendant, you check your moon sign, or just contact me for the private reading at tarot.ca. There is like still special, so you get it within a week, so it's really, really fast. I'm a little bit exhausted, but I really don't think I can sustain this much longer, because now I have to do annual Taroscopes. Yeah, please do order Taroscopes right now. This is a really good deal. And again, this might not be you. Check the other things and make sure if this is you, if you recognize yourself, then you're working on yourself. Messages are saying, look at this, major, 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 that you really need to kind of like address your own issues. There are like some facts that you need to kind of like face. You need to maybe face some fears, maybe you need to face some facts. Maybe for that you need to take it easy a little bit, but just like a slow and steady wins the race, guys. And my Geminis, you know that I love you, and until the next time, be good.